Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I am so happy to be here with you. I am showing you a fun fold card today, and I love fun folds. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love them. If you like fun folds, definitely subscribe to my channel because I post fun folds every Friday. So you will find a fun fold video, and I do have a playlist of my fun folds if you want to click through there and check some out. I'm using the In the Moment stamp set this week. So this is my 5th video on this stamp set and I love it. I just think it's such a beautiful stamp set. It reminds me so much of my daughter. And so I have done 4 other projects with this stamp set. So definitely check those out. I will have a playlist for this stamp set as well. Most of the stamp sets that I use, I do have a playlist for, so you can check those out as well. This particular fun fold I call a double Dutch door. And you know how Dutch doors have that one opening, like the top swings open across and you can like talk to your neighbor. I don't know why they're called Dutch doors. Maybe in Holland they have a bunch of those. I'm not sure. But this background paper that I've used is part of our host designer paper that you can earn for free with a $150 order. So if you collect orders with your friends, you guys can share it. It's a great big pack. It's 48 pieces. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. If you want to have a book party, let me know. I would be happy to help you do that as well. And then you can earn your paper as well. Or you can place an order by yourself of $150 and get the paper too. If you are on my channel for any amount of time, you will see that I use these dies like a billion times. So if you don't own these layering circle dies, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click in the description below and you will see how to purchase them because they are awesome. Trust me, I do not tell you to buy anything that I do not use like 100 billion times. So I get a lot of use out of my project, out of my the products that I purchase. So the In the Moment stamp set is what we're using today, and I'm going to show you how to go ahead and make this card. So our base of our card is basic gray cardstock, and we need 2 pieces. We're going to have one piece that's 4 1/4 by 9 inches. We're going to score that at 5 1/2, and then we have a 2 by 8 1/2 inch strip that is scored at 1/8 of an inch from each side. So we're going to do 1/8 from this, 2 1/8, and then 2 1/8 from that side. I'll show you. And it's very simple. This you can get first out of your large piece of 8 1/2 by 11. You're going to cut this piece across first. So you're going to cut a 2-inch piece off the bottom 8 1/2 length. What you have left is a 9-inch piece. Okay, so it's a 9 by 8 1/2. That 9 by 8 1/2, if you cut it in half, you're going to get this piece. So you're going to be able to make a card, and then you're going to have another piece like this where you only have to use a scrap piece, a 2 by 8 1/2, to get a second card that's like this from your paper. So that's the best way to use your paper in the best manner to make this card. So let me grab my Simply scoreboard because we're going to need that, and we're going to do our scoring that I just talked about. So we're going to start first on our large piece that's 4 1/4 by 9. And we are going to score this, like I said, at 5 1/2 inches. So there's my 5 1/2 inch score mark. And then the 2 by 8 1/2 inches, we're going to score it 2 1/8, which is 1 tick mark past the 2 from both ends. So I'm going to score it, then I'm going to completely rotate it to the other side, and I'm going to go 2 1/8. Okay? That's all the scoring that you have to do for this particular card. We're going to grab our bone folder because you know us, we like to burnish everything and make sure that all of our score marks are nice and tight and that our paper lays nice and flat. So we're going to go ahead and fold these 2 pieces together. This is our bottom door. I'll show you the inside in a second. And then this is our large piece. We're going to make sure that it is scored nicely. And then this is this section. So you're going to open to the top, and then you have the double door on the bottom. Isn't this so cool? All right, so this piece here is, of course, my layering circles. It's the largest of the scallop and the largest of the straight or the smooth edged, okay? So those are the pieces that we're going to use there. And then we're going to need some designer series paper, and we're going to glue that down onto these flaps. So the first piece that we need is 4 inches by 3 1/4, and we're going to lay that on this top flap that we just burnished down. So let me grab that. Look at the other side, how cool that is too. This is great paper pack. And like I said, you can earn it as a hostess if you put a book party in, if you put a regular party in, or if you spend $150 on your own. starting on July 1st, which is today, you can earn celebration for every $50 that you spend. So you can double dip, get this really awesome paper, and get other freebies in my store. So definitely check that out, okay? All right, so there's that piece. And then these two smaller pieces are 1 3/4 by 1 7/8 of an inch. And I'm gonna go ahead and put adhesive on the back of both of them. And then we'll glue those into place. This is a pretty easy fun fold card, but it's a different one. You don't see it too often, so people really love this card if you give it to them. Of course, they're gonna love any card that you make, right? Because it's handmade. But this is special. This is a special one, and it's a very unusual fun fold. All right, so there is that. All right. So what we're going to do next is we're going to glue this panel onto our piece right here, okay? Pretty awesome. So let's put adhesive on this back section, and we're going to open this flap. We're getting there fairly quickly, guys. You're going to love this card. All right, so we're going to glue this down on this edge and just make sure that it really is nice and strong on this bottom edge. I like to hold it down and press my card. I know it's hard to see, but I like to hold it on my silicone mat and press it down so that I know that this cardstock is right on the edge. And what we want to do here is now we're going to place this piece right here along that edge that we have there and just make sure that it's scored perfectly to fit. And it is. No gaps. We're doing good so far. So this is our card. And then on the inside, we're going to have a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to stamp on the inside of that with our Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And on the outside, it's going to say, "You're in my thoughts." And on the inside, it's going to say, "You're always so good to others. Be good to yourself." Which we do need to be good to ourselves, guys. Absolutely. We are the meanest to ourselves, right? Like, we would never tell our friends things we tell our own selves in our head. So definitely be good to yourself. I'm going to put this a little bit higher because I want it to be on the top when the card opens. So there's that. And then I have a piece of 1/2 inch here. I don't know how long it is, but it's just a scrap that I grabbed. It looks like it's 2 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the "You're in my thoughts." We'll stamp that onto this small piece. And then I'm going to flag the end. So I'm going to bring it down here where I can see where I'm stamping. Hopefully it's going to be straight. Yeah, not too bad. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to flag the end. So what I do when I do that is I'm going to trim it down a little because it's just a smidge too long. Like I said, it's just a scrap, so. And I'm going to come down the center here like this. And then I'm going to meet from this corner and then from this corner to that piece that I just made. Again, I'm going to trim this down. It's just a hair too long. And then we're going to come in. And then I'm going to meet that corner and meet this corner and flag that end. You can also use our banner Pick-a-Punch, which will fit the 1/2 inch piece just nicely, but I wanted to show you another way that you could cut those ends. All right, so let's clean our stamps, and then we're going to stamp one more thing, which is our girl, and we'll color her in, and then our card will be complete. This is a pretty good, quick card. I'm going to glue this section on the middle of our, in the middle of our card here. So let's go ahead and get this inked up. I'm playing with fire here, not putting my silicone mat down because you guys who watch me know that I make a mess with glue. So I'm being a little bit dangerous. Hopefully I'm going to be careful and not drop it. All right, so here's our card. This is our top flap. I'm going to open that, and I want to place this on the inside here. And I want to put a border all the way around, which is why I like this wet glue, because it helps to form that. So we're going to go here, here, and here. And now comes the fun part, right? Now comes our girl. We're going to stamp her down. Let me get any adhesive or marks or whatever I have on here because I am so messy. But I'm going to close this up so you can see her. Okay, we're going to take that stamp and we are going to ink her up. And I'm going to stamp her down. I'm going to grab a scrap paper because sometimes, like I said, I'm messy. Put my circle on it. We're going to line her up here and make sure her foot is in there. I'm going to stamp her down. There she is. Looking good, right? All right, let me clean this, and that is the end of our stamping. We're going to do a little coloring, a little assembly, and then we'll be good to go. All right. So let's talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and bring this piece in because I'll be going right to the edges of this circle. I want to make sure it's dry so that I don't get adhesive or black marks like I just did already right here. I'm going to use this. This is a sand eraser, and you can purchase it anywhere. Amazon probably has it. Crafting stores have them. So I like to use it whenever I do a little mistake on my, especially white cardstock. It works really good on. And I just go in a little circular motion gently, and it kind of sloughs off that extra. It's kind of a little miracle worker when things happen. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom here. We're going to do the bottom of our card with our light pumpkin pie. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to just bring that across this bottom section. It's kind of the wall panel. She has crumb cake walls, like crumb cake walls, the panel of her seat here, her window seat. All right, so once I'm happy with that color, let's work our way up, right? So now we're going to use one of the Natural Tones blends. This is from the medium pack. It's 500, 600. You get 2 of them, and I'm going to do this middle section here, and then we'll do her window pane next. So I'm going to run this underneath her pillows, underneath her foot here. We're going to color her seat. I'm going to go right up here a little bit where her toe is. Okay, now we're going to use the deep pack, and this one's 200, and I'm going to do all of the wood here of her window. I'm going to come in from this side, come in from this side, do this edge of her chair here, of her bench. Let's get all of these little cross hatch sections. Come down, come over, come down. I think that's it for that. I'm going to use these same 2 colors, the medium and the dark and the deep, for her hair. So I'm going to start with the medium, and I'm going to put that all over her hair here. And then I'm going to use the deep, and I'm going to highlight the lines that the artist gave us here to give her some highlights in her hair, just like that. Then I'm going to color her barrette deep petal pink. Gonna grab that. All right, I might actually make it flirty so it shows a little better. There we go. All right. So let's do her jeans next. We're going to do light and dark balmy blue. I'm going to start with the light, and I'm going to fill in all of her jeans in the light balmy blue here. All right, and then I'm going to use, and I'm going to darken her pocket, her waistband, and all of these marks that the artist gave us. And then I'm going to come in with my dark balmy blue, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to darken the pocket, these marks that the artist gave us, and then I'm going to do a little bit of shading. So I'm going to do down here and come down her leg, and I'm going to go across and a little bit on that one. And I'm going to come up again and just put some shading there on her waistband. And then I'm going to come back over the top of it with balmy blue, the light one, and that will help blend all of my colors together. Okay, so that's it for blue. Let's do her shirt. Her shirt is going to be dark and light petal pink. So I'm going to start with the light petal pink, and I'm going to color that in first. It is a pale color, but we're going to highlight it with the dark petal pink, and that is going to help bring it to life, like you can see in my sample there. So I'm just kind of going over the top of it. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do this pillow here. It's also going to be petal pink. So I'm going to fill that in with my light first. Then I'm going to come in with my dark, and I'm going to, again, choose the areas that the artist has chosen. She's going to have a shadow here because her hair is kind of laying up there. I'm going to give her another little bit of color right here. Follow those artist lines, and again, I'm going to do the same thing on the pillow. I'm going to follow those lines, and then I'm going to do a little bit of shading on her pillow. So there's her coloring there. We're going to color the other pillow in Flirty Flamingo. And since not too much of this shows, I'm not going to worry about shading it too much. I'm just going to basically color that one in. I'm going to do her mug in the same color, but I'm going to use the dark petal pink to highlight her mug, and it's going to kind of turn it a little darker color, just like that. And then her skin is 900, SU 900, and it is from the Light Natural Tones Blends pack. I'm going to do this back section here of her back. I'll do her arms. Her hand holding her coffee cup. And then her legs here. And I will shade her slightly. I'm just going to come back over her feet in these certain areas, which will help darken just on those spots that I'm adding that darker piece. All right, now comes the background. And so I have used Dark Pool Party, and I'm just gonna come in with the tip here. I'm just gonna color each of the panes and come in from the side. I'm going to come down here, and I'm just going to fill in wherever there's some white. I'm going to color this whole background with this Dark Pool Party. And if you've watched my other videos, I have stated that I need to get some more Pool Party markers. My dark is better than my light, but they are needing some love, which means they need to be replaced. But I'm going to use what I have, and it'll fade as it lightens and bleeds into the paper. It won't be this dark, so it's okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this and go around the edges here with the round kind of the edges of it, just like that. Kind of bring your eye. All right, so there she is. She's ready to go. Let's glue her to her piece of basic gray scallop. Now I'm going to go ahead and put glue on her whole surface here and glue her onto that scallop. But when I glue my scallop to my card, I cannot put glue on the whole scallop, and I'll show you why, because your card won't open. So let's go ahead and adhere her onto her scalloped piece. Now she's going to get glued flat onto this panel. Now she's going to hold these two pieces together there, okay? So you want to figure out where you want her. Now I decided that where the windowsill was, that's where I was going to place the edge of her. So I just held my finger here and I flipped over. And so that section right here is not going to get adhesive. So all of this on the top will, and I'm just going to kind of draw a line there so that I don't glue my piece down where it doesn't need to be glued. Okay, hopefully I kept that pretty straight. We'll see. I'm going to start it at the top and I'm going to drag it down. That will help in case I don't have it perfectly straight. And I'm going to move my windowsill down. There we go. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to make sure that, yeah, I don't have glue down there. So that worked out good. See how that holds that in place for me by me doing that. I'm gonna again give this another burnish and make sure that it has a nice crease. And now we're gonna pop up the words "You're in my thoughts." So I'm gonna grab some dimensionals. Let's see, we're getting low here, maybe 3 of them on here. All right. I'm gonna pull the backs off with my Take Your Pick tool. I love this, and we're gonna also use that to adhere our embellishments onto our card. We're gonna use the other side for that. So we use the pointy tip for this. We're gonna place this right about there onto our circle. Place that down. And then we're gonna grab our dots. They're called classic matte dots. They come in black, gray, vanilla or ivory, and white. We're going to use the basic gray ones because that's the color that I chose. I'm going to put a big one down here, and we're going to use these 2 little ones, one up here by the, and one over here on the side by the circle. So this Take Your Pick tool is pretty awesome. It's $10. I highly recommend it. It has a spatula end on this side, and then it comes with the putty on this side, and it comes with a refill for the putty. And then you can buy attachments for this. So you can buy a brush that helps you get all of the little parts and pieces out of your die cut pieces that attaches onto here as well. So it's a really awesome tool. So if you don't have one of these, I recommend throwing one in your cart. I have linked in the description below all the products that I used to make this card, including adhesive, Stampin' cut and emboss machine, all of that stuff, scissors, everything that I've used to put it together. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me make the card. I have certainly enjoyed making it. Don't forget about this awesome stamp set in the moment. It is a great one, and it makes some great cards. I enjoyed having you with me. Thank you for joining me for another video. And if you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. I would greatly appreciate your feedback. And share your video. You can share it to your Pinterest. If you want to make this card later, it'll give you an idea of what to do. Put it in a board, and then you can come back to it anytime you want and make your card. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this double Dutch door card, and I appreciate having you with me. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!